Hello everybody, Nameless Narcissist here once again, a simple man diagnosed with MPD, giving the facts of narcissistic personality disorder and things that go on in my head. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, but keep in mind I am no clinician. I can only speak to my own experiences and the studies that I read. But for some reason, I will be giving therapists some fucking advice today, I guess. I've had a couple people who are clinicians on my channel ask, like, hey, how can I, what advice would you give us for treating narcissism in a clinical setting? Which is hard for me because I don't fucking know how to treat narcissism, if I'm being honest. I have a little bit of advice for the day-to-day, but in terms of psychoanalytics and treating it actually, no idea. So I'm going to tell you some of the struggles that I've had in therapy about what would make me respect a therapist and what makes me not respect a therapist. So what always happens, and I recommend every therapist, if they really want to get into a narcissist head, read Good Old Neon. I forget who the author is. Great short story though, and it sums up how I think perfectly. You don't even have to watch my videos if you read that book, if I'm being honest. But that being said, please still watch my videos. But that being said, so I go into therapy, and the last thing I want to do is be seen as just some moron who doesn't know what his real issues are, right? But I can't tell them what my real issues are because it's humiliating to be vulnerable like that. So I'm expecting you to guess what my vulnerabilities are. I'm basically expecting you to rip off my mask, give me really deep insight, and see through my bullshit, right? And I don't respect, and that's stupid, right? That expectation, because it's I can only benefit from therapy if I'm being completely honest, but I never am. Okay, nowadays I am, but I never was. I would try to intentionally say things, and I can't, especially if I'm a self-aware narcissist, I can't come out and say, I think I'm a narcissist, because then we have this assumption that, oh, you're going to be oh, well, you can't be a narcissist. You're going to think that we're insecure about being a narcissist, right? But even if we appear insecure about it, it's because we secretly want to be validated about it. We secretly want you to say that you are a narcissist. That is, if it's a narcissist who knows that they're a narcissist already, that doesn't apply universally. But we're going to be saying things, and you really have to pay attention to what we say, because we're going to be trying to lead you to certain conclusions about us the entire time. The smart ones especially. The smart ones are going to be basically, and hell, maybe the blatant, more blatant, overt, and dumb ones will be much more, what's the word? They might be more blatant about what they're trying to get you to think. But for me, I'm trying to say subtle things. I'm trying to think of a good example. Oh, me trying to lead my, trying to show my therapist that I was I didn't have empathy. Is that oh yeah, I'm just not as sensitive as other people, I'm not I don't cry about things and stuff like that. Trying to subtly get her to the conclusion that I lacked empathy, because again, that was one of my first things that I knew. And also that you really have to be careful with the compassionate shit. Because it's I've said on this channel, if they look at me you're a good person, you're too hard on yourself, I want to hit them. I don't respect people who say shit like that, I'll be honest. You have to time that shit really well and also phrase it really well. And I wish I could give you more specific examples, but if you got to watch out for when I'm pretending to be insecure to get you to validate the thing that I'm insecure about. Say, yes, you are like this. Not, I don't need to hear, no, you're being too hard on yourself, because I don't want to hear that. That's not what I'm looking for when I'm feigning insecurity. But then that's hard to kind of, separate, because how do you know if I'm feigning insecurity or if I'm actually being insecure, right? I also this is going to sound so bad, but I'm also going to think that your advice is stupid. I'll be honest. And that's especially some of the, inner child crap. I'm going to think it's stupid. I'm going to think it's either stupid or obvious. The best way, honestly, I think the best way to be able to get us to do shit is to try to get us to prove it wrong, right? It's you think this will work for us? It's okay, you can tell me I'm fucking wrong if you try it and you don't succeed. And usually I'm yeah, I'll fucking take that bet. Let's go. But we're not going to respect you most of the time, which is something I think you have to kind of come to terms with and deal with, is that we're grandiose. We think we're better than you. There are some narcissists who are going to be oh, you're the best therapist. I have the best therapist in the world and stuff like that, right? But I'm not sure if that's more common than how I do it. But like most of the time for me, it's like, I don't respect people. That applies to therapists too, especially if I think your advice isn't good. I feel like the thing is, as a therapist, what you guys have to accept the most is that you're not, and like, it takes a long fucking time to get to anything vulnerable. We might even feign vulnerability. I know I did. I pretended to be vulnerable about things I really didn't care about. Over a long enough period of time, eventually it did come out, right? You're going to have a breakthrough moment, but it could take months, sometimes even like over a year for that breakthrough moment to happen. For a long time, it's just going to be them coming in, complaining about their day or their week or whatever, giving you updates on drama, and then them walking out, and you're going to be like, we got literally nothing done. Why do they even come? I once had a therapist who literally asked me, I don't know why you come to these sessions. She was just a counselor though, in fairness, and I wasn't diagnosed at that point. She wasn't a clinical counselor at all. She was just a normal counselor. So she couldn't even diagnose me if she wanted to. But yes, so it's going to be confusing. And like a lot of times you may miss it because again, this disorder, it's so hiding the self is like the most integral part of this disorder. We're lying about everything about ourselves. And it takes a lot for us to be able to trust somebody to be vulnerable with us. And also, for fuck's sake, we can tell when you're trying to appease us. When you actually don't, it's like, I remember when I was doing a thing with Anthony Bateman, I mentioned that I had like a gift for like manipulation. And he was like, well, you have this special talent or something like that. And I was like, I know you're just saying that to flatter me. I know you're just saying that. And like, I'll probably let it go, right? I don't want to like confront that. But you have this gift for manipulation. No, you don't think that. You're trying to either flatter me or manipulate me into going into whatever. We're going to think you're constantly manipulating us too. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're manipulating us because we can tell what conclusions you're trying to get us to come to. It's like, just blatantly fucking say it at the very least. And then again, because like my therapist will be like, no, I'm generally just trying to know, like, figure out where your head's at, what you're thinking. No, you know exactly what you want me to think, what conclusion you want me to come from asking that question. Maybe I'm being insane, but either way, it's important to keep in mind, right? It's important to keep in mind that we're going to think that you're manipulating us into coming to certain conclusions about ourselves and about our progress in treatment. And like, I respect people the most who will like, won't put up for my shit, who will like challenge me a little bit. I mean, if you're like super accommodating, like I'll back down because I'm like, fuck, I need to like chill out. But that will just make me feel shame. And then also it will make me not respect you. And keep in mind, this is all my personal experience. I don't know I doubt this would work for like every narcissist, but this is how it goes. But yeah, that's basically all. Have a good day.